Now first one says which tech giant and electronic chip manufacturer company purchased 0.39% stake in Reliance Jio platforms. So here the answer is Intel Capital. Intel Capital, it is a division of Intel Corporation company. So you might have seen the Intel electronic chip manufacturer company. So this company investing in our Jio platform with the stake of 0.39%, it is equal to 1894 crore rupees. So that gained an electronic chip manufacturing company, that is Intel's investment into Reliance Jio platform with equal of 1894 crore rupees, which is equal to 0.39% stake acquired in Jio platforms. So Intel Capital is the 12th company to join the list of global giants who have invested in this Reliance Jio platform over the last 2 months. So now Intel Capital will invest around 1894.50 crores in this Reliance Jio platform at an equity value of 4 lakh crore rupees. When it comes to this Intel group, the Intel Capital, it is a division of Intel Corporation. So it's set up to manage corporate venture capital and global investment. And Intel Capital, it is I told is division of Intel Corporation. So the headquarters of Intel Corporation, it is US. And the Reliance Jio company said that the deal with the Intel company, it is a total investment have risen to 1,17,580 crore rupees. So the Reliance Jio said after this deal with the Intel Group, the total investment have risen to 1,17,580 so far into Reliance Jio platforms. So the answer is Intel Capital. Now next one says which bank offers Zip Drive? It is an instant auto loan facility. So which bank offering to their customers Zip Drive scheme? It is an instant auto loan facility. So here the answer is HDFC Bank. Yes, HDFC Bank has announced to offer this instant auto loan named as Zip Drive to their customers. So we'll see what about this Zip Drive. It is an instant auto loan facility as we said. So this instant loan facility will be offered to their customers in about 1000 cities. So that is tier 2 and tier 3 cities in India. So the Zip Drive loan facility will be offered only for customers with pre-approved offers. So the customers who are getting pre-approved offers to their respective mobile numbers or their email IDs or their net banking users. So they'll come to know whether their pre-approved offers are available or not. So this instant auto loan is a technology enabled loan product and the credit assessment is done by banking software and the loan will be offered to within 10 seconds. So the HDFC Bank people saying this instant auto loan, it is a technology enabled loan product. So that technology due to develop that software, banking software will decide according to your credit history, according to your banking savings account transaction, the bank software will decide you are eligible or not for a pre-approved offer to this Zip Drive auto loan facility. So if you are eligible within 10 minutes, you will get this offer to avail this auto loan facility. So this is an instant loan facility offered to their customers. That is called Zip Drive. It is instant auto loan facility. So when it comes to static part of this HDFC Bank, the headquarters of HDFC Bank, it is Mumbai, and present MD and CEO of HDFC Bank, Aditya Puriji. So now the question is HDFC Bank offers this instant loan facility named as Zip Drive. Now next one says which organization has decided to set up Infrastructure Investment Trust? Infrastructure Investment Trust. Which organization has decided to set up this investment trust? So here the answer is NHAI, National Highway Authority of India. So it is our government body and it has decided to establish Infrastructure Investment Trust INVIT, which will be India's first government or semi-government trust. So far no trust in the name of government or semi-government. So this is the first trust to establish as infrastructure investment fund in India. So the answer is National Highway Authority of India. We'll see about this trust. So this investment trust will be promoted under the Indian Trust Act 1882. So this trust promoted under the Indian Trust Act 1882 and also SEBI regulations, Securities and Exchange Board of India regulations under year of 2014 Act. So simply this trust is under Indian Trust Act and SEBI Regulation Act 2014. So this infrastructure investment trust will facilitate investment in highway sector. So for this purpose, a new company will be set up, so which will act as investment manager to this National Highway Authority of India Investment Trust. So it will mobilize resources from market for monetizing completed highway projects of this National Highway and Authority of India NHIV that have a toll collection track record for at least of 1 year. So it will mobilize resources from market for monetizing completed highway projects of NHAI that have a toll collection track, the toll collection track record of at least 1 year they will maintain. So here the answer is NHAI. Now when it comes to static part of this question, this National Highway Authority of India, sorry, headquarters it is New Delhi. The present chairman of NHAI, Dr. Sukhbir Singh Sandhu. The present chairman of NHAI, Dr. Sukhbir Singh Sandhu. The headquarters of when it comes to SEBI headquarters obviously it is Mumbai. The present chairman of SEBI Ajit Tyagi. So that was about this trust. So which organization has decided to set up this infrastructure investment trust? This NHAI, National Highway Authority of India. So it comes under which they promoted this under which act? It is Indian Trust Act and SEBI regulations. Now next question says which organization joined as an observer for France-based network for greening the financial system? So which organization joined as an observer for France-based network for greening the financial system NGFS? So here the answer is Asian Development Bank. So Asian Development ADB Bank joined as observer for this France-based network for greening the financial system NGFS. We'll say about this group and this system. So Network for Greening the Financial System NGFS, it is a global forum. It is a global forum which brings together all the central banks and supervisors around the globe and commits the to manage the financial risks and develop protection and saving opportunities with respect to climate change and environment. So what they said, Network for Greening the Financial System NGFS, it is a global forum. It is a global forum which brings together all the central banks. So our RBI is and like that. So every country's central bank in an Asian region. So all the central banks and supervisors around the globe and commits to manage financial risks and develop protection and saving opportunities with respect to climate change and environment. So after joining as the observer to this NGFS, the Asian Development Bank will address climate risk management in the financial sector and it will help in implementing climate finance targets and will prove export assistance to support the transition of emerging Asian countries into substantial economies. So after joining this observer to NGFS, the ADB will address climate risk management in the financial sector and will help in implementing climate finance targets and will provide export assistance to support the transition of emerging Asian countries into sustainable economies. This Asian Development Bank ADB will fulfill this NGFS Network for Greening the Financial System goals like tackling climate change and environmental sustainability and fostering regional cooperation and integration and building climate and disaster resilience and also strengthening the governance. So for this to fulfill these goals, this ADB as observer for finance France-based network for greening the financial system, NGFS. What I told, this is a forum. This NGFS, it is a France-based NGFS. It is a global forum which brings together all the central banks and supervisors around the globe and commits to manage financial risks and develop protection and saving opportunities with respect to climate change and environment. So the answer is ADB, Asian Development Bank. So we'll come to know about this ADB. So when look at the starting part of this ADB, the headquarters of ADB Philippines and present ADB President Mr. Asakwa. Masatsuga Asakwa. Now next question says name the organization which is set up as a special purpose vehicle SPV and it is offering a special liquidity scheme also for NBFCs and HFCs. So we need that organization name. So the question is which organization has set up a special purpose vehicle and is offering a special liquidity scheme for NBFCs, non-banking finance companies, and HFCs, housing finance companies. The answer is SBI Capital Markets Limited, a subsidiary company of State Bank of India. This Government of India has approved a special liquidity scheme for non-banking finance companies and housing finance companies through a special purpose vehicle. So this special liquidity scheme is set up by this SBI Capital Markets, SBI CAP, which is a subsidiary of State Bank of India. So the finance provided under this scheme to non-banking finance companies and housing finance companies will be used to repay existing liabilities. So existing debt, existing liabilities, and not to expand their assets. So this scheme will remain open for 3 months so that respective trust will be able to make subscriptions and period of lending by the trust will be up to 90 days. So as I told, for 3 months of this scheme will be open for 3 months so that this trust will be able to make subscriptions and the period of lending by the trust will be up to 90 days. So commercial paper and non-convertible debentures will be instruments used in this scheme. So you might have heard these commercial papers and non-convertible debentures. So when a when a liquidity or this type of liquidity schemes are when happens, the two companies are writing using for exchange of money through these commercial papers and non-convertible debentures. So using these instruments, they will transfer the funds. So any NBFCs, including microfinance institutions which are under RBI and HFC registered under National Housing Finance Banks, are eligible to have the benefit of these schemes because due to COVID-19, all NBFCs and housing finances facing liquidity issue. So for helping in the liquidity crisis, this SBI Capital Markets Limited has given a set up a special liquidity scheme to helping these NBFC companies through these commercial papers and non-convertible debentures, the instruments they'll use in this scheme to repay their existing liabilities and not to expand their current assets of these NBFCs and HFCs. So the answer is SBI Capital Markets Limited. Now next question says Government of India and the World Bank. Government of India and World Bank have signed an agreement to develop housing finance projects in which state? Which Indian state? Yeah, the answer is Tamil Nadu state. The Government of India has signed an agreement with World Bank to develop housing projects and provide affordable housing to low income groups in which state? In Tamil Nadu state. We'll see about this affordable housing loan project. So the agreement is signed to strengthen the state's housing sector. The agreement is signed to strengthen the state's housing sector and associate policies with housing sector. So this agreement is signed to develop 2 housing projects in Tamil Nadu state. So the 2 projects accumulates with the total loan grant by this World Bank and Government of India is equal to 250 million US dollars. 250, the loan agreement amount is 250 million US dollars. So the name of the 2 projects under these agreements are One is Tamil Nadu Housing Sector Strengthening Program. For this, out of the total amount, $200 million will be utilized. And second one is Tamil Nadu Housing and Habitat Development Project. So for this project, they will utilize the remaining amount of 50 million US dollars. So the total project amount is $250 million. So under that 200 US dollars, 200 million US dollars for Tamil Nadu housing sector program purpose, and remaining Tamil Nadu housing and habitat development project remaining 50 million US dollars. So this loan amount is granted by International Bank of Reconstruction and Development, that is IBRD, with a maturity period of 20 years. So including grace period of 3.5 years. So here the answer is Tamil Nadu state government. When it comes to static part of this question, uh, Tamil Nadu state present chief minister Thiru Edappi K. Palaniswamiji and the governor of Tamil Nadu Banwarilal Purohit. So government of India has signed an agreement with World Bank to develop housing projects and provide affordable housing to low income groups in Tamil Nadu state. Now next question says, with which bank Swiggy has partnered to launch Swiggy Money? Here the answer is ICICI Bank. Yes, the food tech giant. Food tech giant Swiggy. Swiggy has partnered with private sector bank, that is ICICI Bank, to launch its own digital wallet called as Swiggy Money. So Swiggy Money, it is a digital wallet. It will enable single click checkout experience to users. So this Swiggy Money is provided by ICICI Bank's Insta Wallet service, so which is built on the cloud platform along with the API integration. So with the help of this, Swiggy customers will be able to use their wallet if the customer is an ICICI Bank account holder. It is very easy to manage this wallet. However, a non-ICICI Bank account holder also can use this facility after providing government ID to ICICI Bank. So this facility like a discount, instant withdrawals, top up the wallet with other banks, and split pay option are made available on this Swiggy Money digital wallet app. So if the answer is ICICI Bank is tie up with this Swiggy to launch this Swiggy Money digital wallet app. So now when it comes to static part of ICICI Bank present MD and CEO Sandesh Bakshi and headquarters of ICICI Bank Mumbai. Now when it comes to Swiggy, the Swiggy headquarters Bengaluru, and the Swiggy, it is a food startup, it is a successor like anything. And this Swiggy present CEO Sriharsha Magistri. Sriharsha Magistri. See, the answer is ICICI Bank. Now next question says, which of the following organization has approved a loan for India to execute STARTS project? To execute which project? Which project? STARTS. STARTS, it is a strengthening teaching, learning and result for state program. So that we'll call it short as STARTS project. We'll see the answer this one. So the answer is World Bank. The international financial body, that is World Bank, has approved a loan for India to build a STARTS project. So this project strengthening the teaching, learning and result for state program. A loan of 500 million, that is equal to 3,700 crores in Indian currency. So the project of this, the loan amount of for this is in Indian rupees 3,700 crores has been sanctioned by World Bank. The STARS is basically an education upliftment project. STARS, it is basically an education upliftment project, so which stands for, as I told, strengthening teaching, learning and result for state programs. So STARS project is an undertaken to improve the quality and governance of school education in 6 Indian states. In 6 Indian states. Now we'll see what are the 6 Indian states. The states name, the states namely as Himachal Pradesh, first one, second one Kerala, third one Madhya Pradesh, fourth one Maharashtra, fifth one Odisha, and sixth one is then last one Rajasthan. We will see once again at 6 states: Himachal Pradesh, Kerala, Madhya Pradesh, Odisha, Maharashtra, and last one is Rajasthan. The project will be executed via Samarga Siksha Abhiyan. So this project will be executed via Samarga Siksha Abhiyan. Now when it comes to static part of this question, the headquarters of World Bank, Washington DC, United States, and present World Bank President David Malpass. Now next question says name the organization has launched Swavlambana Crisis Response Fund. The question is which organization has launched Swavalamban Crisis Response Fund. So the answer is Small Industries Development Bank of India, that is SIDBI. The Swavalamban Crisis Response Fund is set up by SIDBI, Small Industries Development Bank of India. We'll see about this scheme. It is an open-ended fund to provide facility of free onboarding MSME on trade receivables discounting system platform. So this Swavalambana Crisis Response Fund, it is useful for MSME companies. It is open-ended fund to provide the facility of free onboarding of MSMEs on what? On trade receivables discounting system platform. So this Swavalambana Crisis Response Fund SCRF comes under Swavalamban Resource Facility, which is developed in a partnership with SIDBI and DIFD. SIDBI and DIFD, that is Department of International Development. It is headquarters in the UK. So this facility, which is developed in a partnership between SIDBI and DIFD UK. So this Swavalambana Crisis Response Fund facility will be available till 30th September of this year 2020, and SIDBI aims to attain the target on board 10,000 during the predefined tenure. So the trade receivables discounting system TREDS, it is an electronic platform. So where the receivables of MSMEs are drawn against buyers and they are financed by multiple finances via an auction. So when it comes to static part of this question, the SIDBI, Small Industrial Development Bank of India, the headquarters it is UP, Lucknow, and headquarters of MD and CEO Muhammad Mustafa. So this Swavalambana Crisis Response Fund SCRF useful for MSMEs on trade receivables discounting system. So it is set up by our SIDBI, Small Industrial Development Bank of India. Next question says who promulgated, means who launched this Banking Regulation Amended Ordinance 2020. Who announced this Regulation Amendment Ordinance? Who promulgated Banking Regulation Amendment Ordinance 2020? So the answer is our Indian President Sri Ramnath Kovindji. The President of India Sri Ramnath Kovindji promulgated Banking Regulation Amendment Ordinance 2020. So this step is taken to ensure safety of depositors from all banks by improving governance and oversights. So this step is taken to ensure safety of depositors from all banks by improving governance and oversights. So recently PMC Bank and S Bank, there are a lot of urban cooperative banks uh, came into frauds. So that the ordinance will amend the Bank Regulation Act 1949 as applicable to cooperative banks also. So as I said in our earlier session, the state and multi and urban, these all cooperative banks. Now recently Government of India made an amendment to this Bank Regulation Act 1949 to brings under RBI supervision. So the ordinance has extended to control and regulation power of cooperative banks to RBI. So these amendments are not applicable to primary agriculture credit societies, this is PACS, or corporate societies which is rural level. So the amendment has taken place into the section 45 of Bank and Regulation Act 1949 and will thus ensure proper management even without making an order of moratorium in order to avoid disruption of the financial system. So this step has taken to ensure safety of depositors from all banks by improving governance and oversight. So this ordinance will amend the which Act? Banking Regulation Act 1949. So here the answer is President Sri Ramnath Kovindji. He has promulgated this Regulation Amendment Ordinance 2020. When it comes to static part of this question, Reserve Bank of India came into limelight in this question. So the RBI headquarters Mumbai and present governor of RBI Sri Shaktikant Das ji. Friends, the first question says which entity or entities has launched Reimagine campaign? So here the answer is FICCI and UNICEF. UNICEF, it is the United Nations International Children's Fund. India has partnered with Federation of Indian Chamber of Commerce and Industry FICCI to launch this Reimagine campaign. We'll see about this Reimagine campaign. So for what purpose they have launched this Reimagine campaign? So this campaign will provide support to most vulnerable population and children due to COVID-19 pandemic, especially in India. So this campaign will provide support to most vulnerable population and children due to current COVID pandemic and its aftermath in India. So these both entities, FICCI and UNICEF, will take a corrective action plan and measure to reduce the losses caused due to this COVID-19 to all sectors, that is businesses, and it will boost employment also. So to provide financial support to these campaigns, the FICCI Socio-Economic Development Foundation also will provide its support in the form of cash and core assets also. So the main intention of this question is, which entity has launched this Reimagine campaign? So question may ask like this, who has been launched this Reimagine campaign? So the answer is, so that one line answer is FICCI and UNICEF. So when it comes to static part, the FICCI headquarters, it is our New Delhi, and the headquarters of UNICEF, United Nations International Children's Fund, UNICEF, the headquarters of UNICEF is New York, United States. Friends, now next question says, on the occasion of 39th Foundation Day, NABARD announced rupees dash of refinancing scheme for banks and financial institutions. So on the occasion of 39th Foundation Day of NABARD, NABARD announced rupees dash for refinancing scheme for banks and financial institutions. So the answer is 5,000 crore rupees. NABARD has refinancing 5,000 crore rupees to banks and financial institutions. So National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development, NABARD, on account of its 39th Foundation Day, they organized one campaign. That campaign name is Digital Chopal. So question may ask like this: who conducted this Digital Chopal? So answer is NABARD. So for how much? For 5,000 crore rupees, they are refinancing. They are giving refinance scheme to banks and financial institutions in India. So this year it is the first version of this Digital Chopal. So this Digital Chopal was conducted by video conference and was participated by various entities with whom NABARD has signed these projects. So from that 5,000 crore rupees allotted to refinance scheme for banks and financial institutions, out of that 2,150 crore will be used for watershed development projects in India. So the participating members shared their experience about the projects they are involved in this NABARD, like watersheds. Also, on the occasion of this 39th Foundation Day, NABARD announced 5,000 crore rupees for refinance scheme for banks and financial institutions. Also, NABARD announced another 5,000 crore rupees for primary agriculture and credit societies. So present in India, there are 5,000 primary agricultural societies are there. So next year, by 2022, they are planning to increase 15,000, and coming next year, 2023, their plan is to increase this PACS to 15,000. So here the answer is 5,000 crore rupees. NABARD has refinancing to banks and financial institutions. So when it comes to study part of this question, the headquarters of NABARD, it is Mumbai. The present NABARD chairman is Mr. G.R. Chintala. Now next question says, in partnership with whom Visa has launched Visa Secure technology. I will repeat question once again. In partnership with whom Visa has launched this Visa Secure technology. So here the answer is Federal Bank, the payment technology global holder, Visa. Visa, it is a payment technology global holder. This Visa has come up with partnership with our Kerala based private sector bank, Federal Bank, to launch a modernized technology to bank account holders to carry out safe banking transactions. So to carry out safe banking transactions, this Visa has partnered with Visa company with Federal Bank for carrying out safe banking transactions. So the technology name is Visa Secure. So with the help of this Visa Secure, the user will get an additional authentication cover so that they can carry out fraudless and safe online transactions. I'll repeat once again. With the help of this Visa Secure technology, the user will get an additional authentication cover so that the users can carry out fraudless and safe online transactions. So this technology will enhance online payment security and will give an focus of the bank on customer-centric digital solutions. I'll repeat once again, this technology will enhance online payment security and will give a focus of the bank on customer-centric digital solutions. So this Visa Secure technology provides multiple payment channels like mobile and web, apps based, etc. So thus by giving better experience for online shopping in quick, simple and secure manner. So this Visa Secure follows standards of EMV3D Secure protocol and it's built on EMV technology so that the payments will be very secure. So when it comes to starting part of this question, the headquarters of Federal Bank, it is Kerala, as I told, Alua. So this payment technology global holder, this Visa has come up with partnership with Federal Bank to launch this uh, Visa Secure technology. So the purpose of this Visa Secure technology is to carry out safe and safe banking transactions. Now next one says Google has announced to invest dash in India with an aim to digitize the Indian economy. I'll repeat question once again. Google has announced to invest dash in India with an aim to digitize the Indian economy. So here the answer is 10 billion US dollars. The global tech giant Google has announced to invest 10 billion US dollars in India with an aim to digitize the Indian economy. So these funds are allotted under which scheme? Under Google for India Digitization Fund. So these funds allotted under Google for India Digitization Fund. So the announcement of this investment was made during the virtual meeting between our Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji and Google CEO Sundar Pichai. Who is Google CEO? Google CEO name is Sundar Pichai. So the investment of USD, this 10 billion US dollars will be utilized by India for the coming 5 to 7 years under the digital platform to various sector of the Indian economy. So the primary focus of this digitalization will be on affordable access to Indian languages and enhancing this artificial intelligence in areas like health, agriculture and education, and also empowering businesses and developing new products and services. So the primary focus of this digitization will be affordable access to Indian languages and enhancing artificial intelligence in areas like health, agriculture and education, and also empowering businesses and developing new products and services. So they are investing Google 10 billion fund. They are allotting this much fund to under Google for India Digitization Fund. So when it comes to starting part of this question, the headquarters of Google, California, United States, and present MD and CEO, sorry, Google CEO Sundar Pichai. Friends, now next question says which country has topped in terms of foreign direct investor in UK? So which country has topped in terms of FDIs in UK? So here the answer is United States. So UK government has released new data in Department of International Trade (DAT) Inward Investment Statistics Report 2019-20. So in that report, India became the second position and US became the first position in UK. So as per statistics analysis, India has become the second largest foreign direct investor in UK. The list is topped by, of course, United States. So as per the analysis, India has made an investment in 120 projects. India has made an investment in 120 projects in UK and it has created around 5,000 plus new jobs in UK. So whereas the United States has invested 462 projects and has created 20,000 plus jobs in UK. So US has created 20,000 jobs in UK and India has created 5,000 plus jobs in UK. So US invested in 462 projects, whereas India invested 120 projects in UK. So the question is which country topped in terms of FDI in UK is here the straight answer is United States. So India became the second position in this rank. Friends, now next question says which organization launched ATL app development module for school children across the country? So ATL app development module launched by which organization for school children across the country. So the answer is Niti Aayog, National Institution for Transforming India. Niti Aayog's Atal Innovation Mission is there. So this Atal Innovation Mission has launched this ATL app development module for school children across the country due to this COVID pandemic situation. This ATL app development module is an completely online course. It is completely online, that too free. This ATL app development module is completely free online course. It provides 6 project based learning modules. It provides 6 project based learning courses and online mentoring sessions with the help of which students can learn to build mobile apps in various Indian languages, and they can showcase their talent also. So this learning module included in it are launched with the guidance from Indian startup company Pledgemo. These courses module included in it are launched with the guidance from Indian startup company Pledgemo. So here the answer is Niti Aayog initiated this module. So when it comes to starting part of this question, the Niti Aayog headquarters New Delhi, and the present chairman of Niti Aayog, our Prime Minister Narendra Singh Modi, Narendra Modi ji, and our CEO of Niti Aayog Amitabh Kant. Amitabh Kant is the present CEO of Niti Aayog and present chairman of Niti Aayog, our Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, and the headquarters of Niti Aayog, New Delhi. Friends, next question says, who will be the head of the panel Pandemic Risk Pool formed by IRDA? Recently, IRDA has framed one panel. That panel name is Pandemic Risk Pool. So the question is, who will be the head of that panel? So here the answer is our Suresh Mathur. The Insurance Regulatory Development Authority of India, IRDA, being the regulatory providing, has formed a panel, so which will examine the degree of convenience of pandemic risk pool. So this panel will be headed by our Suresh Mathur. He is the present executive director of IRDA. So this panel will be consisting of 9 members, so who are representative of well-known industries. So the panel will analyze various risks being faced by the insurance providers in India. So this panel will analyze the various risks being faced by insurance providers in India. So the risks include business interruption losses without concurrent material damage loss and employment loss, inadequacy in financing policies, etc. So, and this panel will submit the report within 8 weeks. The Indian Pandemic Risk Pool. So it is a panel. So this panel will submit this report to 8 weeks to the head of this panel. So the Indian Pandemic Risk Pool is responsible to provide guidance, assistance, and remedial measures to whom? To the insurance companies during these situations like floods, earthquake, or pandemics like COVID-19. So all the assurity of claiming activities will be taken by this pool only. So the panel will also study the need of setting up pandemic risk pool, will recommend structure and operating model for the pool, and it will examine other related matters to subject also. So the IRDA, being the regulator provider, has formed this panel which will examine the degree of convenience of this pandemic risk pool. So the panel will analyze the various risks being faced by the insurance providers in India. So that is the main purpose of this panel. So the question is, who will head of this panel? The head of this panel is the executive director of IRDA. His name is Suresh Mathur ji. So when it comes to starting part of this question, the headquarters of IRDA, Hyderabad, Telangana. Now next one says, who has renewed MOU with International Energy Agency IEA with an aim to focus on enhancing energy sector resilience in Asia and Pacific region? I'll repeat question once again. Who has renewed MOU with International Energy Agency? Who has renewed this memorandum of understanding with the International Energy Agency IEA with for the what purpose? With an aim to focus on enhancing energy sector resilience in Asia and Pacific region. So here the answer is Asian Development Bank, ADB Bank. So ADB Bank has made one MOU with IEA, International Energy Agency, with an aim to focus on enhancing energy sector resilience in Asia and Pacific region. So this MOU is renewed with an aim to further increase the collaboration on sustainability with focus on energy sector resilience in Asia and Pacific sector. So it is a key promoter of growth and human development, especially during recovery from the impacts of coronavirus pandemic. So the memorandum of understanding will pave the way to overcome the unique knowledge and bridge the experience gap that prevents the development of sustainable energy systems in Asian Development Bank's developing member countries. And it also enhances IES, International Energy Agency's data collection and capacity building efforts in Asia and Pacific region. So the MOU is renewed with an aim to further increase the collaboration on sustainability with focus on energy sector resilience in which region in Asia and Pacific region. So the answer is Asian Development Bank. When it comes to starting part of this question, the ADB headquarters, it is Philippines, and the president of ADB Asakwa, and headquarters of IEA International Energy Agency France. Now next question says with whom CBDT Central Board of Direct Taxes has signed MOU for the purpose of data exchange. So the answer is SEBI, Securities and Exchange Board of India. CBDT has signed MOU with the SEBI for the purpose of data exchange between these two organizations. So upon signing this MOU, the both organizations will now able to transfer their data and share their information on the automatic and regular basis. So in order to carry out the regular exchange of data between these two entities for the purpose of carrying out their functions under the various laws, the data will be shared on request and suo motu basis. So to manage this initiative, the data exchange share group has been formed. So the data exchange share group will monitor this data exchange activities and will ensure effectiveness of data sharing mechanism. So here the answer is SEBI, Securities and Exchange Board of India, sharing their data with CBDT, Central Board of Direct Taxes. So when it comes to static part of this question, the CBDT is Central Board of Direct Taxes headquarters, it is New Delhi, and the present chairman of the CBDT, Pramod Chandra Modi. And when it comes to SEBI, the SEBI headquarters Mumbai, and present chairman of SEBI, Ajay Tyagi ji. Now next one says which payment bank has launched Bhavishya saving account for minors? I'll repeat question once again. Which payment bank launched Bhavishya saving account for minors? So the answer is Fino Payments Bank Limited. Minors means account holders whose age is having less than 18 years. We are calling it as a minors. So the answer is Fino Payments Bank Limited. It is small. It is a payment bank. So the Bhavishya saving bank account is launched for the minors who are between the age group of 10 to 18 years. This saving account can be opened for minors and also their age between 10 to 18 years. So this saving account is launched with an aim to inculcate banking and saving habit in children. So the saving account is launched with an aim to inculcate banking and saving habit in children. So the account can be opened via electronic know your customer eKYC mode with no requirement of maintaining minimum monthly average balance. So there it is zero account. So there is no need of maintaining nor there is no requirement for maintaining this minimum monthly average balance. Also on opening the account, a free platinum RuPay debit card also will be given to this minor. So along with this saving account, so this Fino Payment Bank giving RuPay debit card also, that too free. So the minors are supposed to have mobile number for security purpose. When the minor becomes 18 years old, the account will be upgraded to a regular saving account after submission of re-KYC details. So the maximum limit for the account is 50,000 rupees only. Also the account can be utilized to take benefit of various government schemes for children also. So here the answer is Fino Payment Bank Limited launched this Bhavishya saving account scheme for minors. So now when it comes to starting part of this Fino Payment Banks, this headquarters of Fino Payment Bank is Mumbai, and the present MD and CEO of this Fino Payment Banks, his name is Rishi Gupta. Rishi Gupta. Now next one says with which bank MasterCard has partnered to provide its customers an online real-time domestic and cross-border payment facility. So I'll repeat question once again. With which bank MasterCard has partnered to provide its customer an online real-time domestic and cross-border payment facility? So the answer is SBM Bank India. Mastercard has partnered with this SBM Bank India in order to provide its customers with an online real-time domestic and cross-border payment facility. So the online real-time payment facility will be done through this Mastercard Send. So Mastercard Send, it is an online payment facility. So with the help of this partnership, the customer will get benefit of quick, convenient and secure payment experience. So now when it comes to starting part of this question, the headquarters of SBM Bank in India, it is Mumbai. The present MD and CEO of this SBM Bank, Siddharth Rath. So when it comes to Mastercard, the headquarters of Mastercard in New York in United States, and present CEO of Mastercard, Ajay Banga. Friends, you can follow our channel in social platforms like Telegram, Facebook and Instagram. These links I have provided in description section. Now next question says, which organization has sanctioned as finance support loan to Government of India for Namami Gange program? So Namami Gange program, so it has been initiated by Government of India. So for this purpose, the World International Organization has sanctioned a finance support to this Government of India for Namami Gange program. So the answer is World Bank. World Bank and Government of India has signed a loan agreement facility to financially support Namami Gange program. So this Namami Gange program aims to regenerate the Ganga river. So the loan amount of rupees US dollars 400 million US dollars has been sanctioned by World Bank to make Ganga a clean and healthy river. So the loan amount of 400 million US dollars has been sanctioned by World Bank to make Ganga a clean and healthy river. So the loan amount is 400 million US dollars comprises a loan of 381 million and a proposed guarantee up to 19 million. The loan amount will be utilized by India to develop and strengthen the management of this river basin, which is home to more than 500 million people. This Namami Ganga program is aims to regenerate the Ganga river. The loan amount of 400 million US dollars has been sanctioned by World Bank to make this Ganga as a clean and healthy river. So when it comes to starting part of this question, the headquarters of World Bank, Washington DC, interested in the present World Bank President David Malpass. David Malpass. Now next one says, with whom CBSE has partnered with to provide training on digital safety to teachers and students. I'll repeat the question once again. With whom CBSE has partnered to provide training on digital safety to teachers and students? So the answer is Facebook. So Central Board of Secondary Education, CBSE has partnered with our tech giant Facebook to launch a training program for teachers and students on digital safety and online well-being. So the training program will be conducted for 3 weeks in which 10,000 teachers and 10,000 students will be trained. So this will be the first phase of training. So the training program will be conducted for 3 weeks in which 10,000 teachers and 10,000 students will be trained. So this will be the first phase of the training. So during the second phase, that 30 students will be 30,000 students will be providing training on digital safety. So the motto behind this initiative is to ensure digital safety. And nowadays schools are shut down due to COVID-19. This lockdown amidst COVID-19. So and the academic learning process is carried out via online platforms only. So due to this, Facebook has tied up with has partnered with CBSE to provide training on digital safety to teachers and students. Now next one says, India first life insurance partners with whom to offer exclusive COVID-19 and hospital cash cover insurance facility. I'll repeat question once again. India first life insurance partners with whom to offer exclusive COVID-19 and hospital cash cover insurance facility. So here the answer is Bank of Baroda. So India's first life insurance partnered with this Bank of Baroda, our India's international bank, public sector bank, Bank of Baroda Financial Services Limited, to offer this group insurance cover. So the partnership will provide finance support to Bank of Baroda credit card supporters in order to carry out hospitalization on COVID-19 diagnosis. So the customers who will choose India First Life Insurance Hospital Care Plan will be able to avail financial benefits if diagnosed with COVID-19 positive. So the partnership offers COVID-19 diagnosis cash benefits or hospitalization cash benefit amounting to 5,000 rupees to 10,000. So between 5,000 and 10,000. So the cash benefit will be offered if hospitalized 2 or 4 times in an year. So this cash benefit will be offered if the patient is hospitalized for 2 or 4 times in an year. So here the answer is Bank of Baroda. So our India's first life insurance partners with India First Life Insurance, it is the insurance company name. So it is partnered with Bank of Baroda Finance Services Limited to offer group insurance cover. So the answer is Bank of Baroda. So now when it comes to static part of this question, the headquarters of India First Life Insurance Company, the headquarters of this insurance company is Mumbai, and the headquarters of Bank of Baroda, it is Vadodara, Gujarat. Now next question says SEBI, Securities and Exchange Board of India, restructures advisory committee on mutual funds under the chairmanship of whom? So recently SEBI has restructured their advisory committee on mutual funds. So under whom chairmanship this restructure is happening? So the answer is Usha Thorat. So Security Exchange Board of India, the regulator of securities and commodity market in India. So this SEBI has reconstituted this committee, advising it on matters related to regulation and development of mutual funds industry by including 5 new members. So the new 20 members committee will be chaired by Usha Thorat. She is the former deputy governor of Reserve Bank of India. And the previous 15 members panel that formed in 2013 was headed by Janaki Bala. Janaki Bala, she earlier panel head. Now present is Usha Thorat. So this Janaki Bala is also former chairman of SBA. He is SBA. The Security Exchange Board of India, the regulator of securities and commodity market in India. This SEBI has restructured this committee, advising it on matters related to regulation and development of mutual funds industry by including 5 new members. So when it comes to SEBI headquarters, it is Mumbai, and present chairman of SEBI Ajay Tyagi. Friends, now first question says, which bank has decided to conduct development projects in Andaman and Nicobar Islands? Which bank has decided to conduct development projects in Andaman and Nicobar Islands? So here the answer is National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development. National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development, NABARD. NABARD has decided to launch development projects in Andaman and Nicobar Islands. So under exam point of view, here we need to remember some important points regarding this question. The first one is these development projects are launched for the worth of 44 lakh. So the worth of these projects is 44 lakh. And these projects are launched under Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan scheme. This project is launched under Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan scheme with an aim to develop rural entrepreneurship. And NABARD also partnered with Center of Agriculture Research Institute, CARI. NABARD has also partnered with the Center of Agriculture Research Institute to carry out agriculture program for the worth of 20 lakh in Andaman and Nicobar Islands. So here 3 points you need to remember. First one is the worth of this project is 44 lakh, and the project launched under which scheme? Under Atmanirbhar Abhiyan scheme. For what purpose? To aim to develop rural entrepreneurship in Andaman and Nicobar Islands. And third one is NABARD has also partnered with Center of Agriculture Research Institute, CARA, to carry out agriculture programs for worth of 20 lakh in these islands. So when it comes to static part of this question, the left-hand counter of Andaman Nicobar. So this question may ask in under general awareness. So the left-hand counter of Andaman Nicobar Islands, Sri Admiral D.K. Joshi. So D.K. Joshi is a Lieutenant Governor of Andaman Nicobar Islands. When it comes to NABARD, so NABARD headquarters Mumbai, and present chairperson of NABARD Harshakumar Banwala. Harshakumar Banwala. Friends, now next question says, who is or honored with US India Business Council Global Leadership Award 2020? US India Business Council, USABC Global Leadership Award 2020. So here the answer is N. Chandrasekaran and Jim Taiclet. N. Chandrasekaran and Jim Taiclet. They both were honored with the US India Business Council Global Leadership Award 2020. N. Chandrasekaran, he is the present chairman of Tata Group, and Jim Taiclet, he is the CEO and president of Lockheed Martin Corporation. N. Chandrasekaran is the chairman of Tata Group, and Jim Taiclet is CEO and president of Lockheed Martin Corporation. It is US based aerospace and defense company. So for that company, the company name is Lockheed Martin. He is the present CEO and president of this company. So they both were honored with the US India Business Council Global Leadership Award for the year of 2020. Friends, now next question says Google to buy dash percentage stake in Reliance Jio platforms. Here the answer is Google to buy 7.73% stake in Reliance Industries Limited RIL's Jio platforms for the rupees of 33,737 crores. So the worth of this deal is 33,737 crores. So here the answer is Google to buy 7.73% stake in Reliance Jio platforms. So this investment will strengthen the existing efforts of Google and Jio platforms to expand the benefits of digitization across India. So this investment will strengthen the existing efforts of Google and Jio platforms to expand the benefits of digitization across India. So when it comes to static part of this question, the headquarters of Reliance Industries Limited, it is Mumbai, and the present MD and chairman of MD and chairman of for this Reliance Industries Limited, Mukesh Dhirubhai Ambani. When it comes to Google, the headquarters of Google, California, United States, and present CEO of Google, Sundar Pichai. Here the answer is, I will repeat once again, 7.70% stake, and the worth of this stake is in Indian rupees 33,737 crores. Friends, now next question says the third G20 finance ministers and central bank governors meet was held under whose presidency? So here the answer is Saudi Arabian presidency. Finance ministers and central bank governors meet, FMCBG. So the third G20 finance ministers and central bank governors meet was conducted recently. So it was participated by our Indian finance minister Nirmala Sitharaman. So the meeting was held under presidency of Saudi Arabia via video conference. So the main purpose of this conference meet was the entities, the countries which are participated in this virtual meet, they have discussed about the global economic outlook market during this COVID pandemic situation. So they have also discussed the other priorities of G20 finance track for the year of 2020. So when it comes to static part of this question, the G20, it is an international forum for governments and central bank governors. So from now present, 20 countries are there in this G20. The present chairman of this G20, King Salman bin. The present chairman of this G20, King Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud. Now next question says which bank sanctioned financial support to West Bengal state to rebuild its infrastructure damaged due to Amphan cyclone. So recently West Bengal state was huge damage due to this Amphan cyclone. So to rebuild this state infrastructure, the which bank has sanctioned this financial support? So here the answer is NABARD, National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development. NABARD to provide 795 crore rupees, 795 crore rupees infrastructure damage due to the Amphan cyclone. NABARD is providing 795 crore rupees financial support to West Bengal state. So here the answer is West Bengal. So when it comes to static part of this question, the West Bengal CM name is Mamata Banerjee ji and Governor of West Bengal Jagdeep Dhankar, and headquarters of NABARD, it is Mumbai, and present chairman of NABARD, G.R. Chintala. Now next question, which bank launched a campaign under corporate social responsibility CSR to distribute face masks and sanitizers all over the nation to combat COVID-19? So I will repeat question once again. Which bank has launched a campaign under corporate social responsibility CSR to distribute face masks and sanitizers all over the nation to combat this COVID-19? So the answer is Punjab National Bank, our public sector bank, Punjab National Bank, the headquarters of Punjab National Bank, New Delhi. So this PNB has launched this campaign to combat COVID-19. They are distributing face masks and sanitizers to all over the nation under the corporate social responsibility CSR. The tagline of Punjab National Bank, the name you can bank upon. The new tagline of Punjab National Bank, the name you can bank upon. The present MD and CEO of Punjab National Bank, Sri S.S. Mallikarjun Rao. Sri S.S. Mallikarjun Rao ji. The headquarters of PNB, New Delhi. Now, next question says, what is the name of an enterprise mobility solution launched by Ola? What is the name of an enterprise mobility solution launched by Ola? Our India's human mobility service provider. Our India's human mobility service provider company Ola. Ola has launched an Ola corporate solution. So here that enterprise mobility solution name is Ola Corporate. Ola Corporate, it is an enterprise mobility solution service. So it will roll out the enterprise offering the customers in Australia, New Zealand and UK. So this Ola Corporate Enterprise Solution has garnered 10,000 corporate users when it was launched in the Indian market. So the solution, this Ola Corporate Solution offers a wide range of safety features to customers. Customer rider and follows hygiene, sanitization and social distancing norms during this pandemic situation. So it carries out a hassle-free pick and drop facility by providing an online charge payment facility to consumer. So this Ola Corporate, it is an enterprise mobility solution service. So this solution, Ola Corporate offers a wide range of safety features to customers, rider and follows hygiene, sanitization and social distancing norms during this pandemic situation, and it carries out hassle-free pick and drop facility by providing an online charge payment facility to consumers. So when it comes to starting part of this Ola, the present CEO of Ola, his name is Bhavish Agarwal, CEO of Ola, Bhavish Agarwal, and headquarters of Ola, Bangalore. So this Ola is an human mobility service provider company. Ola, it is a India's human mobility service provider company. Now next question says, who appointed new MD and CEO of Karur Vysya Bank? So who appointed new MD and CEO of Karur Vysya Bank? Here the answer is new MD of Karur Vysya Bank name is Ramesh Babuji. So Ramesh Babuji, he is appointed as MD and CEO of Karur Vysya Bank, and he has replaced Mr. P.R. Seshadri. He has replaced Mr. P.R. Seshadri. So when it comes to Karur Vysya Bank headquarters, it is Karur, Tamil Nadu, and tagline of Karur Vysya Bank, smart way to bank. Smart way to bank. So his name is Ramesh Babu. He is the present new MD and CEO of Karur Vysya Bank. Now next question says, which company became the first Indian company hits 13 lakh crore market capitalization? MCAP, we'll call it as MCAP in short form, 13 lakh market capitalization. So which company became the first, that Indian company? So which Indian company met with this 30 lakh crore market capitalization in this year? So here the answer is our Reliance Industries Limited, RIL. Recently huge investments came into Reliance Jio platform. So here the answer is Reliance Industries Limited, RIL. RIL hits 13 lakh crore market capitalization. So it has become the first Indian company to reach this level. So and it has became the 48th largest company in the world in terms of market capitalization. So in terms of market capitalization, this Reliance Industries Limited is the 48th largest company in all over the world. So when it comes to Reliance Industries Limited, the headquarters of Reliance Industries Limited, Mumbai, and present CEO of Reliance MD, then CEO of Reliance, Mukesh Ambani ji. So the answer is RIL. Now next question says, who chaired the committee which released the report of the committee for analysis of QR code, quick response code? So here the answer is Professor Deepak B. Pathak. Deepak P. Pathak, he is an eminent professor of IIT Mumbai. So under his chairmanship, so Mr. Professor Deepak B. Pathak, the committee has suggested how to effectively take into digital platform this quick response code. So first we will know about what is quick response code, QR code. So QR code, it is an two-dimensional barcode. So it is an two-dimensional barcode which consists of a black squares arranged in a square grid on a white background. So you might have seen while doing payments through digital, for example, if you take in Google Pay, Phone Pay, while doing payments through mobile. So most users are using this quick response code. So that we'll call it as QR code. So as I told, it is a two-dimensional barcode which consists of a black spheres arranged in square grid on white background. So to read and interpret this QR code, the image devices like smartphone cameras are used. So three type of QR code payments supported in India at present. Those are Bharat QR, UPI QR, and last one is proprietary QR. So this is important question. You should keep in your mind. So there are in India three type of QR payments are supporting. So those are Bharat QR, UPI QR, and proprietary QR. So when it comes to this committee, so the committee suggested recommendations for this QR codes depending upon four main pillars. So this committee suggested how effectively utilize this QR code in near due to COVID pandemic. The payments are being done by through digital payment only, digital process only. So digital platform. So they have recommended four main pillars. So namely interoperability and scalability, and second one is innovation, and third one is security, and last one is customer education and awareness. So the committee suggested recommendations for this QR code depending upon four main pillars. So those are interoperability and scalability, innovation, security, and last one is customer education and awareness. So the Reserve Bank of India has released this report. The report name is report of the committee for analysis of quick response code, QR code. Now, recently, which bank signed corporate agency pact with LIC, Life Insurance Corporation of India, to offer insurance product to customers? I'll repeat question once again. Recently, which bank signed a corporate agency pact with Life Insurance Corporation of India, LIC, to offer insurance product to customers? So the answer is Union Bank of India. The Union Bank of India, it is a public sector bank. Union Bank of India has signed a corporate agency pact with Life Insurance Corporation of India. So the corporate agency agreed will allow Union Bank of India to distribute LIC insurance product to their customers. So this agreement comes after the amalgamation of Union Bank of India with recently this amalgamation has happened with Corporation Bank and Andhra Bank. So Union Bank of India now will offer LIC insurance products like pension plans, children plans, education plans, health insurance, and unit linked ULIPs. So like this many policies they are going to offer to their customers, that Union Bank of India customer. When it comes to starting part of this question, headquarters of LIC Mumbai and present chairman of LIC M.R. Kumar, and headquarters of Mumbai for this Union Bank of India, and present MD and CEO of Union Bank of India Raj Kiran Rai. So Union Bank of India has signed corporate agency pact with Life Insurance Corporation of India. When it comes to this tagline of Union Bank of India, it is good people to bank with. So taglines mostly asks in GA section, that bank awareness section in every examination, that is NABARD LICN. So when comes to tagline of this UBI, good people to bank with. Now next one says, which bank launched InstaClick savings account? So here the answer is Bank of Baroda. Bank of Baroda recently has launched this InstaClick savings account. So in exam point of view, no need of knowing about what is there, what the facilities are giving this InstaClick savings account. But I will give you a brief on this. So in order to access this account in real time, the users will have to use this Bank of Baroda mConnect Plus application. So the main aim behind this launching of InstaClick savings account is that the Bank of Baroda is working to digitize its all work by 2023. So and it become 100% paperless. So Bank of Baroda is they're making a path to make 100% paperless banking. So digitized banking. So for that they have launched this InstaClick savings bank account. So when it comes to starting part of this question, the Bank of Baroda headquarters Vadodara, Gujarat, and present MD of Bank of Baroda Sanjeev Chanda. And when it comes to tagline of this Bank of Baroda, India's international bank. It is India's international bank. Now next question says, India's first numberless payment card is launched by. I'll repeat question once again. India's first numberless payment card. So number won't be there in that card, either debit or credit card. So we'll see the answer. So answer is FamPay and IDFC First Bank. So FamPay, it is an startup company. So IDFC First Bank, so it is a private sector bank. Then the FAM card, this is card name is FAM card. So it is India's first numberless payment card. So it is launched by FamPay and IDFC First Bank. So FamPay, it is an India's first neobank for teenagers. So neobank for teenagers. So FamPay, a neobank for teenagers. This aims to bring a cashless convenience to teens and their parents. So last week it has been launched a numberless card, FAM card. So that card name is FAM card. So it's like a debit card that teenagers can use to make payments. So FAM card, it is like a debit card that teenagers can use to make payments. So the 2019 founded this FamPay was started by IIT Roorkee graduates. So this FamPay card launched by whom? Launched by IIT Roorkee graduates. The graduates name is Kush Taneja and Sambhav Jain. Kush Taneja and Sambhav Jain. So they both were launched this FamPay. This FamPay offers a combination of parent control and independence for teens as well. So when it comes to this FamPay company startup headquarters, it is Bangalore, Karnataka. And that this card name is FAM card. So FAM card, it is India's first numberless payment card. So this first numberless payment card is launched by which company? FamPay and IDFC First Bank. So that payment card name is FAM card. Now next one says, which finance organization rolled out UPI Autopay recurring payment facility? Which finance organization rolled out UPI Autopay recurring payment facility? So here the answer is National Payment Corporation of India, NPCI. NPCI has rolled out a feature for recurring payments. So this feature is known as UPI Autopay. This UPI Unified Payment Interface, this UPI Autopay has launched virtually at a global fintech fast event by NPCI. So with the help of this UPI application, it will enable recurring of e-mandate of recurring payments. Recurring payments means like mobile phone bills, electricity bills, etc. So it will also carry out EMI payments up to 2000, and for about 2000 EMI payments, the user will have to execute their UPI pin for every EMI transaction above 2000. So to enroll this facility, so to avail this facility, the user will have to create a e-mandate via UPI ID, QR scan or intent. So when it comes to starting part of this NPCI, National Payment Corporation of India, headquarters it is Mumbai. Present MD and CEO of NPCI, Dilip Asbe. His name is Dilip Asbe. He is MD and CEO of National Payment Corporation of India, headquarters Mumbai. So here the UPI Autopay, it is an recurring payment facility. So this feature is called as UPI Autopay. Now next question says, which mutual fund house manages the Bharat Bond Exchange Traded Fund? So here the answer is Elvis Mutual Fund. So Elvis Mutual Fund, it is managing this Bharat Bond Exchange Traded Fund. So in this question we will see some new terminologies came. So first we will try to know about these terminologies. What is a mutual fund and mutual fund house, and next one is exchange traded fund. So I will tell you brief explanation. I will give you brief idea about this mutual fund. So when it comes to definition of mutual fund that pools money from many investors and to purchase securities. So simply we can say in layman language, a mutual fund it is an open-ended professionally managed investment fund that pools money from many investors to purchase securities. Then what is fund house? So a fund house is a company that invests the pooled money. So as I told, mutual funds are pooling the money from investors. No, as I told. No, so that pooled money, this fund house will invest this to buy financial securities like stocks, mutual funds, equities. So a fund house is a company that invests the pooled money. So the fund house is a company that invests the pooled money of investors to buy financial securities like stocks, mutual funds, equities, etc. So these mutual fund companies also call this fund house companies also call it as asset management companies. These companies will call it as asset management companies. So when comes to this question point of view, so this Elvis Mutual Fund, it is a fund house company. So this fund, it is a mutual fund company. So it is managing this Bharat Bond Exchange Traded Funds.
So it is normally launched in the second series of this ETF funds, exchange traded fund. So in last year December 2019, it had launched the first series of this exchange traded fund. So with this tendency, the fund house seeks to raise around 14,000 crore from retail and institutional investors. So this fund house raising capital of 14,000 crore rupees from retail and institutional investors. So here the answer is Elvis Mutual Fund. Now next question says which social media platform has launched a campaign called it as Between You in India. So it's Between You in India. So that campaign name is It's Between You in India. So this campaign launched by which social media platform? So here the answer is WhatsApp. So WhatsApp, it is social messenger app. So this social media WhatsApp has launched its first brand campaign named it as It's Between You in India. So WhatsApp has collaborated with Indian director Gauri Shinde. So Gauri Shinde along with advertising agency BBDO India, so to create two advertisements that highlight how the future of WhatsApp helps to imitate in-person conversation. So WhatsApp soon they are going to launch this person-to-person conversations. So this WhatsApp has collaborated with our Indian director Sri Gauri Shinde along with advertising agency BBDO India. So to create two advertisements that highlighted how the features of WhatsApp help to imitate in-person conversations. So the answer is WhatsApp. Now the question is N. Shivaraman. N. Shivaraman, he is appointed as MD and Group CEO of which credit rating agency? He is appointed as MD and CEO of for which credit rating agency? Here the answer is ICRA, ICRA, Investment Information and Credit Rating Agency of India. The ICRA abbreviation is Investment Information and Credit Rating Agency of India Limited. The board of directors of ICRA has appointed N. Shivaraman as the MD and CEO of this credit rating agency for 3 years. So he has replaced Naresh Thakkar. He was earlier MD and Group CEO of this credit rating agency. So when it comes to ICRA, it is a public limited company established by banking service organizations and financial institutions. So ICRA, it is an independent organization, independent credit rating agency. First we will see what is a credit rating agency. So a credit rating agency is assess the credit worthiness of a borrower. Credit worthiness of a borrower or debtor. So in particular, in general terms, with respect to a particular debt or financial obligation, the credit rating agency will assess the credit worthiness of a borrower, whether they can, whether the borrower able to repay their debts on time. So you might have seen many credit rating agencies in India, CRISIL, ICRA, CARE, SMERA. So these all are the credit rating agencies in India. So here the question is ICRA's new MD and Group CEO of this credit rating agency, his name is N. Shivaraman. So when it comes to static part, the ICRA headquarters, it is Gurgaon, Haryana. Now moving on to next question. The question says with whom Bank of Baroda Financial Solutions Limited have partnered to have digital transformation of card issuance and its processing. So here the answer is FinServ Inc. FinServ Inc. It is a technology based financial services and payment global provider. FinServ, it is a technology based financial services and payment global provider. So the wholly owned subsidiary of Bank of Baroda. It is named as Bank of Baroda Finance Solutions Limited. So it has partnered with FinServ, which is a technology-based finance services limited. They both have joined together to have a flexible, scalable solution to accelerate the digital transformation of card issuance and its processing. So the main intention of their joint venture is to develop high-tech products like contactless credit cards, tokens, and integration with the branded wallets and virtual credit cards. So the main purpose of this joint venture is flexible, scalable solutions to accelerate the digital transformation of card issuance and its processing and to develop high-tech products like contactless credit cards, tokens, and integration with branded wallets and virtual credit cards. So when it comes to static part of this question, the headquarters of Bank of Baroda Financial Solution, it is Mumbai, and the headquarters of this FinServ Inc. It is United States. It is Brookfield in United States. Here the answer is FinServ Inc. It is a technology-based financial solutions service, and it is global payment provider. Now next question says, which bank has sanctioned 3 million US dollars as the financial support to India to combat COVID-19 under Asia Pacific Disaster Response Funds? So by seeing this Asia Pacific Disaster Response Fund, we can guess the answer. So here the answer is ADB, Asian Development Bank. So Asian Development Bank has sanctioned 3 million US dollars as the financial support to India to combat COVID-19 under Asia Pacific Disaster Response Fund. So this fund comes under Asian Pacific Disaster Response Fund, APDRF. So when comes to static part of this question, the headquarters of Asian Development Bank, it is Manila, Philippines, and president of this Asian Development Bank, Masatsugu Asakawa. Masatsugu Asakawa. So he is a present president of ADB. Here the answer is Asian Development Bank, ADB. Now next question says, बहुत ज़रूरी है a crop insurance campaign launched by which general insurance company? So recently बहुत ज़रूरी है, it is a crop insurance campaign has been launched by which general insurance company? So here the answer is Bharti AXA General Insurance Company. It is a crop insurance launched for the farmers to encourage them to have a protection and security for their farms and crops. So it is a crop insurance campaign launched for farmers to encourage them to have protection and security of their farms and crops. So this campaign is launched by Bharti AXA Life Insurance Company, Bharti AXA General Insurance Company. So the campaign is launched for the farmers of Maharashtra and Karnataka. So this you have to remember. So this campaign has been launched for farmers of which states? For Maharashtra and Karnataka states only at right now. So when comes to static part of this question, the headquarters of Bharti AXA General Insurance, it is Mumbai. So here the answer is Bharti AXA General Insurance. That campaign name is बहुत ज़रूरी है. It is a crop insurance campaign. Now another question says, who appointed as MD and CEO of Tata AIA Life Insurance Company? Tata AIA Life Insurance Company. So here the answer is Navin Tahiliani. So Navin Tahiliani, he is appointed as MD and CEO of Tata AIA Life Insurance Company. So he is appointed by whom? Who appointed him as this MD and CEO of Tata AIA? IRDAI, Insurance Regulatory Development Authority of India, appointed him as MD and CEO of Tata AIA Life Insurance. So when it comes to static part of this question, the headquarters of Tata AIA Insurance, it is Mumbai, and headquarters of IRDAI, Hyderabad. Now moving forward to the next question, the International Monetary Fund IMF provides a loan of 4.3 billion US dollars to South Africa. IMF providing a loan of 4.3 billion US dollars to South Africa to combat COVID-19, of course, in the country. So now the question is, who is the present MD of IMF? So the answer is Kristalina Georgieva. Kristalina Georgieva, she is MD of this IMF. So International Monetary Fund provides a loan of $4.3 billion US dollars to South African country to combat COVID-19. South Africa getting a loan of 4.3 billion US dollars from IMF. So the headquarters of IMF, Washington DC, and the chief economist of IMF, Geeta Gopinath. So chief economist of IMF, Geeta Gopinath. Now next question says, IRCTC launched co-branded contactless credit card with which organization? Yeah, recently IRCTC has launched this co-branded contactless credit card with which organization? With SBI cards. So already there was a joint venture between IRCTC and SBI cards. So in the same rope, the IRCTC has launched this Indian Railways Catering and Tourism Corporation, IRCTC abbreviation, Indian Railway Catering and Tourism and Corporation. It is in a partnership with SBI Cards, have launched this co-branded credit cards. So these credit cards is launched on the RuPay platform, and this launching of cards made by Piyush Goyal. So this launching of card was made by Piyush Goyal. The card is made by Near Field Communication Technology, NFC technology, which provides a transaction at the point of sale POS machines by tap and pay option. So they are telling contactless credit card, no? So this is like a tap and pay options. So this near field communication technology provides security for online transaction to the user. So the cards, these cards also provide safe and convenient and it improved travel experience to all rail passengers. So for that purpose, the IRCTC, Indian Railway Catering and Tourism Corporation, has partnered with this SBI. They launched together a co-branded credit card, that to contactless credit card. So when it comes to static part of this question, the IRCTC headquarters, New Delhi, and present Chairman and MD of IRCTC, Mahendra Pratap Mal. He is the present Chairman and MD of IRCTC. So when it comes to SBI cards, it is a wholly subsidiary of State Bank of India. So the SBI cards headquarters, it is Gurugram, Haryana. Now next question says, which Indian accounting standard was amended by Government of India recently? So during this pandemic situation of coronavirus and to support Indian companies, the Government of India has amended certain Indian accounting standards. AS, we will call it as in accounting terms. Normally in commerce students might have known Indian accounting standards, including the standards and norms relating to leases. So these amendments has recently made standards and norms relating to leases. So here the answer is AS 103 and AS 116. Accounting Standards 103 and Accounting Standards 116. So the Ministry of Corporate Affairs has amended this Indian Accounting Standards AS 103 and AS 116, and also some other standards. So the Indian Accounting Standard 116 standard defines it is a lease as contract or any section particular contract which conveys the right to use an asset for a tenure of time in exchange of consideration. We will call it as normally a lease. So it is related to principle of presentation, recognition and disclosure of a lease. So the Indian Accounting Standards 103 standards, it is related to business combinations. So the amendment rules were set at finalized by Ministry in guidance and consultation with the National Financial Reporting Authority. So these amendments rules were set and finalized by whom? By Ministry in guidance and consultation with the National Financial Reporting Authority, NFRA. So previously, before relaxing these norms under Indian Accounting Standards 116, there were practical difficulties being faced by the companies in current situation of pandemic in terms of lease payments. So that's why therefore to solve this problem, Government of India and the Ministry has amended these rules under this standard. So this will provide lease concession to Indian companies. So mainly you have to remember in this question is the Government of India recently has amended accounting standards of 103 and 116. So 116 related to lease and 103 relates to business combinations. So these amendments in Indian Accounting Standard 103 will help entities to determine whether a transaction need to be accounted as business combination or an asset acquisition. So here you need to remember that's accounting standards numbers. That's in Indian Accounting Standards 103 and 106. Now moving on to next question, with which organization Bank of Maharashtra partnered to provide omni-channel security to its digital banking app MahaSecure. So here the Bank of Maharashtra having a mobile digital banking app, that is the app name is MahaSecure. So for this app they partnered with which organization to provide omni-channel security to their digital banking app. So here the answer is Unican. Bank of Maharashtra has partnered with Unican company. It is an organization which works in the field of digital security. So they have partnered to work and provide omni-channel security. The omni-channel security will provide a Bank of Maharashtra's online banking app that is named as MahaSecure. So Unican's technology, it's provide a omni-channel security, and it is as a defense in-depth functionality which provides online security from malware attacks by providing safe transaction facility of banking. So for the purpose of this partnership was to provide online security from malware attacks by providing safe transaction facility for their banking customers. So when it comes to headquarters of Bank of Maharashtra, it is Pune, Maharashtra, and the tagline of Bank of Maharashtra, one family, one bank. And when it comes to this Unican organization, the headquarters of Unican organization, it is the United States, and the present CEO of Unican, Bimal Gandhi. Bimal Gandhi is the CEO of this Unican. So this Bank of Maharashtra has partnered with Unican. It is an organization which works in the field of digital security for to provide online security from malware attacks by providing safe transaction facility for Bank of Maharashtra banking customers. Now next question says the Reserve Bank of India has signed an agreement of USD $400 million currency swap facility with which country? So with which neighbor country of India? So here the answer is Sri Lanka. The Reserve Bank of India has signed an agreement of USD $400 million currency swap facility with Sri Lanka country. So this currency swap facility agreement will be valid until November 2022. So this agreement is signed to help Sri Lanka to meet with its short-term international liquidity requirements. So to meet this short-term liquidity international liquidity requirements, so this India, our Reserve Bank of India has signed an agreement with Sri Lankan Sri Lankan country. So the foreign exchange reserves will also be boosted for Sri Lankan country, which declined due to COVID-19 in the country. So this currency sub agreement was signed under the South Asian Association of Regional Cooperation. This SAARC is there, no? So SAARC. So here the answer is Sri Lanka. So when it comes to starting part of this question, Sri Lanka currency name is the currency of Sri Lanka. It is Sri Lankan rupee. Sri Lankan rupee, and the capital of Sri Lanka, Sri Jayawardhanepura Kotte. The capital of Sri Lanka, Sri Jayawardhana Kotte. And when it comes to this RBI, Reserve Bank of India Governor Shaktikant Das, and the headquarters of RBI, Mumbai. Now moving on to next question. The question says, which organization in India released the 21st issue of Financial Stability Report? Which organization released this Financial Stability Report, that is 21st Financial Stability Report? So here the answer is Reserve Bank of India. This Financial Stability Report, FSR, it is a study and assessment of Financial Stability and Development Council. So this report draws a study of risks to financial stability, resilience to financial system in order to develop and regulate the financial sector of the country. I'll repeat once again. This report draws the study of risk to financial stability, resilience to financial system in order to develop and regulate the financial sector of the country. So as this report has made certain assessments, certain calculations, so we don't need to remember those things, but when exam point of view, this report will be released by Reserve Bank of India. So for the purpose, the report studies study of risk to financial stability, resilience to financial system in order to develop and regulate the finance sector of the country. So when it comes to static part of the Reserve Bank of India, headquarters of Reserve Bank of India, it is Mumbai, and governor of RBI, Shaktikant Das. Now next question says, with which insurance company Amazon Pay has partnered to offer vehicle insurance? Amazon has partnered to offer vehicle insurance with which company? With the insurance company. So the answer is Acko General Insurance Limited. Acko General Insurance Company. So Amazon Pay, Amazon unit of Amazon India, it is as partnered with Acko General Insurance Limited to launch vehicle insurance. So under this partnership, customers will now be able to purchase two-wheeler and four-wheeler insurance policy in less than 2 minutes with no paperwork. So when it comes to features of this vehicle insurance policy, zero paperwork and 1 hour pickup, 3-day assured claim servicing, and 1 year repair warranty and instant cash settlements too also. So now customers will be able to purchase vehicle insurance via this Amazon Pay page. So they can select options like add-ons, so like zero depreciation and engine protection, etc. So the customers will able to make insurance payment through Amazon Pay balance and UPI or any cards, any debit or credit cards. So in exam point of view, no need of all these things, the facilities they are providing by Amazon, and just we need to remember with which insurance company Amazon Pay has partnered to offer vehicle insurance. It is Acko General Insurance. So when it comes to static part of this question, the Acko General Insurance company, it is headquarters Mumbai, and when it comes to Amazon Pay, it is Washington DC, United States. Friends, that's all for today's session. So I hope you gained something in this session. So if it is true, please like, share and comment, and don't forget to subscribe our channel to get more videos like this. So keep studying, friends. Enjoy the preparation. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.